Day after Akronites, welcome once again to Around Akron with Blue Green, and yes, we have an amazing show ahead of us today. It's off to Cuyahoga Falls to learn all about nut butters with NOSH Butters. Then I'm off to the Firestone Metro Park. And then it's off to South Main Street to check out the Main Street Saloon. Then to kick this show off today, it's down to Portage Lakes to the East Reservoir. Not only is it a new dam, it's also been landscaped and it's actually a park-like area. Let's go see what the East Reservoir Dam is all about. Portage Lakes began in 1827 as the Portage Summit Reservoir to supply water for the newly constructed Ohio Erie Canal. Initially a combination of lakes, swamps, and bogs, carved out by glaciers over 50,000 years ago, two man-made reservoirs were added to the Portage Summit Reservoir in 1839 and in 1840. In the early 1900s, an additional man-made reservoir was constructed as part of the Portage Summit Reservoir to support the Ohio Erie Canal and the growing industry in Akron. It was in 1902 when the state of Ohio renamed Portage Summit Reservoir as Portage Lakes and recognized it as a state recreational area, although use of the Ohio Erie Canal for transportation ceased in 1913. The Portage Lakes continued to grow with further man-made constructions added in the 1930s and 1950s. In addition, an approximate 10-mile stretch of canal between Akron and Barberton continued to operate as part of the Portage Lake systems. Today, Portage Lakes is a geographical area situated in Summit County, south of Akron, and various sections of Coventry Township and the cities of New Franklin and Greene. The Portage Lakes continue to support portions of the former Ohio Erie Canal and supply water to Akron area industries. In addition, the Portage Lakes provides boating, fishing, picnicking, and other recreational activities. Around 1839, the East Reservoir was hand-dug as a water supply for the Ohio Erie Canal. Initially called the Tuscarawas Reservoir, earthen embankments along the reservoir's northern shores kept the impounded water from naturally flowing northward. However, in 1913, torrential rains on frozen ground caused the water levels in East Reservoir to rise and triggered a breach in the East Reservoir's earthen embankment. As part of repairing the flood-damaged East Reservoir, plans were completed for a construction of the East Reservoir North Spillway. In 1915, repairs included realignment of the roadway and construction of a bridge, spillway, and a gatehouse, all along the northern end of the East Reservoir, near the intersection of present-day Portage Lakes Drive and North Turkey Foot Road. As designed in 1915, the North Spillway was a concrete gravity structure with a 20-inch wide, 28-foot-long broad crested weir. The weir is defined as a natural barrier across a horizontal width of the waterway that alters the flow of the water. A gatehouse, located in the front of the spillway, reduces the effective weir lengths. Two 30-inch diameter vitrified tiles extended from the gatehouse through the spillway structure. Flow through the tile was controlled by sliding gates. The 2019 East Reservoir Dam Rehabilitation, an innovative invisible dam. During the years of 2018 to 2019, the Ohio Department of Natural Resources repaired the East Reservoir embankment to bring the dam up to current dam safety standards. These repairs included constructing a new dam structure upstream of the existing embankments that could withstand an overtopping flood event. The new upstream dam structure was built using an innovative design with soil cement construction techniques. The result was a new dam with a solid section of soil cement for stability and a cutoff wall to reduce seepage beneath the structure. Birch's Landing at East Reservoir. It originally opened in 1920 as Edgewater Barbecue. H. Birch bought the building in 1925, purchased some canoes, and renamed the building Birch's Landing. An addition was added in 1936 to house canoe rentals. Birch's held the license for the oldest continuous operating canoe livery in the state of Ohio. In 1983, Birch's widow sold the operation to Ross and Lori Kiefer, who turned the operation into a canoe and pontoon boat rental along with pontoon sales and service. They eventually added a general gift shop. They later leased the building to Portage Lakes Bait and Tackle. The building was demolished in 2017 to make way for the dam rehabilitation project. In 1952, a fire destroyed a 3-story wooden building known as Warner's Boathouse, located on the north end of East Reservoir. After the fire, the Warners erected a concrete block marina building on the site. However, the Warners were unable to financially recover. In 1961, Leonard Lighton purchased the Warner's Boathouse at 252 Portage Lakes Drive. Mr. Lighton grew the East Reservoir location into a year-round business storing and servicing boats. Ownership changed in 2008 when the business was sold to Ross and Lori Kiefer, owners of the Birch's Landing. The marina continued to operate until demolition of the building in 2017 as part of the dam rehabilitation project. If you haven't seen this area in a while, you probably remember the way it used to look. Well, it's changed, and trust me, I think it's changed for the better. You're going to want to come down to the East Reservoir Dam. Bring your family. There's lots of restaurants around here you can visit. There's ice cream places, there's traditional food places, there's bars, there's golf courses. There's a little bit of everything here. The East Reservoir Dam is functional, it's practical, and it's usable. It's a wonderful use of space. I highly recommend you come down and check out the East Reservoir Dam. Next up, it's to Cuyahoga Falls to NOSH Butters to learn all about nut butters. You know about peanut butter, but do you know about cashew butter or almond butter? Let's go see what NOSH Butters is all about.
I always loved peanut butter, mostly, Jif and Skippy growing up. Then as I got older, started trying out almond butter, but I've always been a fan of just PB&Js and baking with nut butters, but was frustrated with just the limited choices out there. And actually my wife and I started this business together. Her name's Lauren. We saw pistachios everywhere, but didn't ever see pistachio butter. And we're like, why can't we make pistachio butter? And so we started experimenting at home and eventually went to farmers markets and gave the butters to our friends and family. And it just kind of evolved from there. Almost any type of nut butter, almond butter, cashew butter, pistachio butter, pecan butter, and then one of the unique things about our products is we blend them together. So we have our pistachio almond butter is one of our most popular. Our cinnamon sugar peanut pecan is another popular product. So once we started experimenting with different types of nuts and then blending them together, we realized there was a lot of different flavor profiles and combinations we could create. And we might have gone a little excessive with the number of products we have. And so now we're trying to narrow it down to the top selling products. But we probably have 20 different products that we make back there. We source all of our ingredients raw and we dry roast the nuts in-house. Part of the reason is so we can control the quality of the products. There's also a food safety aspect there because by roasting it, it kills any potential pathogens that could present a food safety hazard. After we roast the ingredients, we blend them up basically think of a food processor, just a more industrial version of a food processor. And we beat those up really excessively. And then from there, we might smooth out the butter depending on what the customer needs, but we fill our jars or we fill tubs for business customers and then ship it out. We supply bulk nut butter to other businesses, smoothie bowl companies, protein bar manufacturers, basically any other food processor that uses nut butter as an ingredient. And then where we started this business was selling directly to customers in jars. So we have like a little 4-ounce jars that we sell, and then 12-ounce glass jars. And we'll sell them direct to customers. And then we also work with grocery stores like Heinen's and Giant Eagle, Fresh Time, and then a number of independent grocery stores around the Midwest and some across the country. We do have a lot of loyal customers, thankfully. And, you know, nothing against Jif and the other Justins, the other nut butters out there, because we get them too. And sometimes there's a good time and a place for those products. I do think we've converted a lot of customers to our products because, you know, not only the unique flavors, but the clean ingredients, low carb, and it really, you know, food is, in our mind, food is joy. Food is a way that you connect with people, and it's a way that you show you love people. And so by having these unique flavors that can be used in unique ways, you can create these special experiences and connections with other people in a way that's, you know, you can't do with a lot of other things. So, you know, that's a big reason I think why we've, you know, been able to build a really great customer base, a supportive customer base, and people who will go back and pick up our products, you know, anytime they need more nut butter. I think, you know, being able to add nut butter to your diet too is something, or to your menu, is something customers appreciate because, you know, I think we're getting more aware of what we eat, and that it matters. Like, food is medicine, and if you're eating good food, then you're taking good care of yourself, and hopefully you'll be healthier. And so by adding things like almond butter to your diet, you know, you're getting a good source of protein and healthy fats, you know, that you're not necessarily getting from, you know, processed meats or cheeses or, you know, a lot of the common, you know, foods that we consume on a regular basis.
Next up, one of my favorite metro parks, the Firestone Metro Park. It is a massive park with lots of trails, lots of wildlife, and the best part, it's free. Let's go see what Firestone Metro Park is all about. The Firestone Metro Park is a gym located just south of Akron, Ohio, offering its visitors a rich tapestry of nature and recreational opportunities. As one of the oldest and most beloved parks in the area, Firestone Park boasts a storied past that dates back to its origin as a former dairy farm. Yes, that's right. Dairy cows once grazed the hillsides of this area known today as Firestone Metro Park. In 1949, the Metro Park received a gift of 89 acres from the Firestone Tire and Rubber Company. Acquisitions of nearby parcels expanded the park to 258 acres. In 1956, the Ohio Department of Natural Resources completed the construction of the nearby dam, intended to create a reservoir for industrial water needs. As the reservoir of the adjacent Firestone Golf Course filled, The water table rose downstream, forming the large wetland and marshy meadows of the Firestone Metro Park. Along with the Tuscarawas River and the Tuscarawas Race, which once channeled water to the Ohio and Erie Canal, the area is home to fish, crayfish, frogs, and turtles. The meadows and forests shelter foxes, coyotes, raccoons, skunks, muskrats, rabbits, mice, voles, and moles, along with many beautiful summer and fall wildflowers. More than 175 bird species have been sighted in Firestone Metro Park, including various types of wrens, thrushes, warblers, woodpeckers, herons, and ducks. A number of different raptors, including bald eagles, have also been spotted. Firestone Metro Park is so large it actually has 4 different entrances and 1 drop-off for sled riding. You can enter the park at Coventry Oaks area, at 40 Axline Avenue, Little Turtle Pond at 2400 Harrington Road, Tuscarawas Meadow area, 2620 Harrington Road, or the Warner Road area, 200 East Warner Road. And in the wintertime, there's a sled hill drop-off on 55 East Warner Road. Firestone Park is very clean, has plenty of restrooms, lots of parking, lots of handicap parking, and also lots of handicap-accessible picnic areas. The park supports 3 main trails: the Red Wing Trail, which is 1.1 miles. This is a loop off of the Willow Trail that shares peaceful views of the Tuscarawas River and goes over a wetland on a wooden boardwalk. The Willow Trail is 1.6 miles. The Willow Trail loops past an ancient sandhill left behind a pre-glacial sea, the Little Turtle Pond, where young anglers 15 and under can fish. Then the last of the trails is the walking course, which is 0.9 miles. The easy walking course from Warner Road to Coventry Oaks Lodge is a favorite among seniors and young families. It passes through the Tuscarawas Race and the Sled Hill area, where the trail may be wet, but is a wildlife bonanza. Botanical enthusiasts will delight in the diverse array of plant species that call Firestone Metro Park home. From the first delicate spring flowers to the towering hardwoods that have stood for generations. Firestone Metro Park is a true oasis for nature lovers, bird lovers, and outdoor adventurers alike. With its rich history, diverse bird species, calming waters, scenic trails, and abundant plant life, the park offers a harmonious blend of natural wonders waiting to be explored and appreciated by all who visit. You can take your children that are 15 years and younger fishing into Little Turtle Pond, which is stocked with a wide variety of fish. Adjacent to it is the Spring Pond, which is loaded with turtles. The Firestone Metro Park also has amazing pavilions. Up on top of the hill, there's the Coventry Oaks Pavilion, which is on the Axline Avenue entrance. And the outside pavilion, which is located at the Tuscarawas Meadows area park entrance, is a sight to be seen with a huge fire hearth and a very unique geometric design. The Firestone Metro Park has always been one of my favorite parks. I find it to be very diverse. It has a lot of trails through open meadows, over hills. It has great views. You go through swamplands. You go by the Tuscarawas River. You walk on cliffs that overlook the river. You can walk down beside the river. It has trails everywhere, and you're guaranteed to see amazing wildlife. The river is loaded with fish. Birds fill the air with beautiful music, and the diversity of plants that you see and trees. It's truly a gem. Go today. Go by yourself. Go with a friend. Go with your family. Just go and visit the Firestone Metro Park. Now to wrap this show up today, it's off to the Main Street Saloon, home of Akron's famous Jumbo Burger. Let's go see what the Main Street Saloon is all about.
Originally, this was a Mick and Shirley's. It was a grocery store. A husband and wife owned it. After that, it was an Acme. And then after that, it was J&B Lounge, that's who my grandparents bought the place from in 1985. And then they made it Main Street Saloon, and then it's been that for almost 40 years now. They opened the place in 1985, really starting from the ground up there. They built this place to what it is and really built our life to what it is and left us really well off. They actually originally had a gas station right down the road, and then that formulated into them buying this. They were home of the famous Jumbo Burger to start off with, and that's really what it started our main grounds, what we got famous for food in the Akron area. Always known for great food, fun events, live shows. It's always a good time, good people. You feel like family when you come here. We have a dining room, also a bar, so we do allow families in here if they want to bring their children and have dinner or lunch and whatnot, so children are welcome. We close up at 11 p.m., so we're not here too late or anything. The kitchen closes at 10. Everybody welcome. We have a very diverse crowd here, and everybody is welcome to come eat and enjoy our drink. I was about 16 years old. I started cooking in the kitchen here, just learning the ways that they were doing everything, and then slowly but surely tried to perfect things, make things better, try to do updates, get us new stuff, new menu items and stuff. And then once I was able to start bartending, I did the same things with the bar and the cocktails. Great food, a selection of barbecue, hand-cut steaks, hand-patted burgers. We also do homemade egg rolls, hand-battered appetizers, real good fresh food. We do have annual hog roasts every year. We do that the first Saturday in May, where we smoke whole hogs and do a full barbecue buffet, and we'll sell tickets. We have live shows for that as well. And then we do an alligator roast and shrimp boil in September every year. That's the third week of September on Saturday. We smoke whole alligators, we do a shrimp boil, chicken stir fry, Hawaiian fried rice, try to hit everybody's palate. And then we have our Wednesday night pool tournaments. Sign-ups are at 6 p.m. every evening on Wednesdays. And we start shooting at 6:30. We do first, second, and third place. And it's a $5 buy-in. We do that once a week. We're on the corner of South Main and Archwood in Firestone Park. The Bridgestone Stadium is sort of diagonal from us where the softball fields are, right before downtown Akron. Right there on the main road, I'd say it's a great location. A lot of the times the Akron school systems will provide at least breakfast and lunch while the kids are in school. And when they don't go to school, a lot of the times they won't eat at all if it's not provided for them at home. And you just see how excited they are to get the meals. They can't wait to look in the bags and drink their drinks. So about 10 years ago, my grandfather started that, always feeling like that nobody should really go hungry, but especially the kids, noticing a need for it in this community, Firestone Park. And he knew what it was like to go hungry at one point in his life and wanted to make a difference. And we've been trying to continue that since he's been gone, feeding over 100 kids a day, Monday through Friday from noon to 2. Any kid's able to come in and get a lunch and a drink and kind of go on their way. So we did fill up the volunteer time for this summer. But we always take volunteers Monday through Friday to hand out the sack lunches, to pack the lunches, and to make peanut butter and jelly sandwiches or whatever lunch meat and cheese sandwich we're going to do for the next day. We kind of have somebody come in for a couple hours and prep those up. We take bread donations, lunch meat and cheese donations, really anything that is non-perishable items that won't go bad that we can put in the sacks, the sack lunches and whatnot. We love what we do, and it warms our hearts to feed the kids, and I love what I do here as well. I take pride in my job, and I try to give our customers the best that we can. Next year will be 40 years, so we're going to have a lot of fun events for that. We're going to really take it over the top and treat our customers for our 40-year anniversary. I would love to see our customer base grow. A lot of people don't even know about us, don't even understand when it's their first time here. They always say that, wow, I didn't understand you had food like this. They're very, very impressed. Our cocktails have elevated over the years as well, and some people don't understand that we do have our fresh squeezed juices and mojitos and fresh purees to make the cocktails really go over the top. And you can just really have a good dining experience here. I would love to grow business to keep putting money into the building and expand.
Thank you once again for watching this episode of Around Akron with Blue Green. Now, if you have any questions or comments, you can catch me on social media. And yes, I want you to have an amazing day.